This is Saho, the girl every handsome guy finds boring because she's completely fed up with men. She once had the shock of her life from a boy who broke her heart. The movie begins with a big concert by a famous music band called Like Legend, made up of 5 good-looking young men. All the girls are obsessed with the band's leader, Kota, who's charming, orange-haired, and smooth-talking. He looks a bit like a model. The biggest fan of his is Isi, Saho's best friend, who begs her to go with her to their concert. But Saho refuses, saying, "Impossible. I've never hated anything more than handsome men." She even prays for all the good-looking guys to disappear because, in her words, they're shallow and full of themselves. We learn that Saho has deep issues with men because back in high school, she once loved the most handsome boy in her class and decided to confess her feelings in a romantic letter. But the boy mocked her publicly and showed the letter to everyone at school. The students made fun of her, saying she was bold despite her thick glasses and plain look. Since then, she has lived by her motto, "Single life is peace, relationships only bring depression." She works now in her mother's restaurant after graduating from high school. One day while working, she sees news about the band Like Legend on TV, but doesn't care. She finds them childish and ridiculous. Suddenly, Kota himself walks into the restaurant. Like every girl, she's momentarily stunned by his looks, but she decides to treat him like any regular customer. He's surprised by her attitude, and she remembers that her friend Isi would die for his autograph. So she gets him a paper and pen to sign, and he playfully says, "Of course, beautiful, anything for you." After signing, he gently pats her head and kisses her forehead. Saho snaps, "What's wrong with you, huh? Who gave you permission to kiss me? Do you think I'm your grandma?" Kota laughs and says, "Aren't you one of my fans?" She replies sharply, "You're actually the one man I hate most in this world." He smiles and says, "I won't leave until you become one of my fans. I'll do whatever it takes to make you like me." But Saho pushes him away, saying she could never like a childish, clingy guy like him. That night, she tells Isi what happened, that the clown kissed her forehead, and Isi sighs, "You're so lucky." But Saho shouts, "Shut up, I hate him." Then she opens her book of men hate and writes, "The more handsome a man is, the more toxic he becomes." She calls Kota the orange-eyed danger and reminds herself to stay away from him because distance from men means peace of mind. But the next day, she's shocked to find Kota sitting in her house, holding her little sister on his lap, telling her stories like he's family. He says he came to get to know them better and even brings magazines and CDs featuring his interviews and movies. He asks Saho if she has a boyfriend. She answers, "I've never hated anything more than men. I'm single and proud," Kota says. "Why, miss? You're beautiful and bright. 1,000 guys would wish for you." He's clearly lying but trying to be nice. Saho replies, "No thanks. I hate men and relationships." Kota realizes she's been hurt before and softly says, "May God bring you a good man one day who'll heal your wounds and never leave." After a while, he dozes off in the restaurant, and Saho wakes him up. "Hey, handsome, get up. Do you think this is your aunt's house?" Soon some customers enter, one of them a drunk man who mocks Kota, calling him useless and talentless. Kota doesn't argue. He smiles politely and apologizes. Saho watches, surprised, thinking to herself, "Wow, this guy's actually well-mannered." Later, she notices him sitting sadly, and she tells him not to take the drunk's words seriously. He says, "I just don't like being hated. I want everyone to like me, so I always try to show people I'm good." Shortly after, an order comes in for home delivery from none other than Kota. She complains, "Does he live here now or what?" But when she delivers it, she finds him with his 4 bandmates, Waman, Haru, Naru, and Kano, all ridiculously good-looking. Each one flirts with her, calling her cute, and she's internally panicking. How am I supposed to resist this level of handsomeness? They eat everything, and Kota asks her to cook something special for him. As she cooks, he asks about her dreams. She tells him she wants to be a certified accountant and help her mother expand the restaurant. She asks about his parents, and he replies that his father died when he was young and his mother passed away later. She feels sorry for him and says, "Oh no, what a tragic story." Then she spots an old photo of him with a girl from high school and guesses that it was his ex. After she serves the meal, he praises her cooking. "Your food is amazing." Saho leaves feeling bad for him. On her way, she runs into some old classmates who used to bully her, mocking her again for still being single. Suddenly, Kota appears and says, "She's my girlfriend." The bully's jaws drop. When his fans notice him, he grabs Saho's hand and runs away with her to avoid a scene. She thanks him for protecting her and tells him he's a good person. He smiles and says, "No, you're the kind and hardworking one." That's when Saho's heart melts completely. She forgets all her old principles and falls for him. She tells herself love has no rules, deciding she'll love him quietly without confessing, at least for now. Back home, she watches all his movies and interviews, whispering to herself, "I'll love him in secret for 10 years until I'm sure of his feelings." The next day, the band prepares for a radio show, but before recording, they get hungry and order a big meal from her family's restaurant. Saho is thrilled. She'll get to see Kota again. At the studio, she meets Emo, a girl she thinks likes Kota, but later finds out Emo actually likes Kano, another band member. During all the commotion, Saho accidentally drops her notebook, the one where she confessed her secret crush on Kota. Kano picks it up and reads it. "So you love him, huh? Then go tell him." Saho panics. "Not now, maybe in 10 years. Kano laughs, "You're insane." Later, Saho visits the music video shoot and watches the band film romantic scenes. Their acting is awful until the director tells them, "Pretend you're confessing your love to that girl," pointing at Saho. Suddenly, they all perform perfectly, especially Kota, whose gaze makes Saho blush deeply. The director thanks her afterward and gives her small figurines of each band member. At home, Saho holds Kota's figurine lovingly and whispers, "I love you. Do you love me?" Behind her, Kota's voice answers, "Do you? Do you?" She turns red with embarrassment. He laughs, saying he overheard her confession and admits he loves her too, but can't be in a relationship. Shocked, she asks, "Why not?" He apologizes, "I'm sorry, beautiful. I'm traumatized by love. I can't do it anymore." Heartbroken, Saho says, "Fine, let's just pretend this never happened. We'll stay friends." But he replies, "No, I can't even see you as a friend anymore." She realizes he's toxic after all, but she tells herself she won't give up. She'll try to forget him. The next morning, the news explodes. Kota's first love committed suicide because of him. The public turns against him. His popularity collapses. But Saho refuses to believe the rumors. Kota would never do that, she says. Soon after, Kano shows up at her door with a big box, saying, "Please, hide Kota at your place. His fans will tear him apart if they find him." Saho replies, "Of course, he can stay here even 10 years. I don't care." She prepares a room for him, but then he asks shyly, "Can I request something without being rude?" She says, "Sure." He answers, "I need underwear." She gasps, "What? You think I'm your aunt?" But she still goes out and buys him some. Ah, the power of love. Later, while Saho is showering, Kota accidentally walks in, looking for a thermometer. He immediately apologizes, saying he didn't know she was inside. When she realizes he's sick, she feels bad and takes care of him all night, placing cold towels on his head. During that time, Kota asks softly, "If you found out the rumor about me was true, would you still love me?" Then he confesses the truth. As a child, he had a close friend named Rai, who supported him through everything, and was the reason for his success. One day, she kissed him while he was pretending to sleep. Embarrassed and confused, he avoided her and stopped replying to her messages. Later, she had an accident and died before he could even say goodbye. Since then, he swore never to love again. Saho listens in silence, tears in her eyes, not knowing what to say except to comfort him. The next day, the entertainment company dissolves the band like legend after the scandal, forcing each member to go solo. But the others refuse and decide to leave the agency to stay together. Despite their reduced fan base, they don't give up, and Saho keeps attending every performance, cheering for Kota. At one concert, she removes her mask, shouts his name, and tells him that his smile is the best thing about him, and that she won't let anyone take it away. Hearing this, Kota smiles for the first time again, feeling hope return. Later, Kano gives him a letter from Rai's parents, saying they don't blame him for her death, that Rai loved him and was happiest when he smiled. This eases his guilt. The next day, Kota texts Saho to meet him. He takes her to Rai's grave, saying he's wanted to bring her there for a long time. Then he confesses his love. Shocked, Saho says, "Seriously, you bring me to a cemetery to tell me you love me? No thanks." He laughs and asks, "Do you marry me?" She replies sarcastically, "What do you want? Me to dig you a ring from the ground?" and storms off angrily, saying, "Don't you ever show your face again." A month later, the band releases a new song called "You're the Only One in My Heart," sung in Japanese. Saho realizes it's written for her, but she resists her emotions, saying she'll never fall in love again. Kota, however, keeps searching for her until he finally finds her. Looking into her eyes, he says, "You taught me what real love is. Real love lasts, teaches us forgiveness, and heals." He smiles and asks, "Do you love me?" She accepts, and that's where the story ends, with love, laughter, and a bit of chaos. If you made it to the end, don't forget to like the video. Leave us a nice comment, as you always do. And if this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel to catch all upcoming recaps.